Hey, y'all. Hey. I'm always laughing whenever we about to start because I never know when we're going to start, even though it's a countdown. Anywho, welcome to the 17th, no, 18th?
Yep.
18th episode of Theories and Thoughts. Wow, Fancy, for the 20th, we got to do something special. I'm going to figure it out. Maybe we'll do a giveaway. Anywho. Hi, y'all. Welcome to the 18th episode of Theories and Thoughts with Arnya and
Fancy. I'm trying. I'm trying to improve on this. So, yeah. That's a little bit livelier, at least.
Fancy. Yeah, I know normally she'd be like, Fancy. Well, welcome to a new episode. Thank you for joining us on tonight. You could be anywhere in the world, but you're right here watching us, or you are listening to the replay, and we appreciate it. So thank you. Now to get into this news. I call it news you can use, and I'm like, what happened? What's happening discussion? I haven't gotten a name for it yet, but we're going to talk about it. You ready?
I've been trying to share the live, but I have not been able to find it for some reason. But I guess we're on because I see Allison. So, hey, Allison, hey, as you be saying.
Hey, Allison. Hey, girl, hey. I don't know. Let me see. And I hate to be doing that while we're on. Anywho.
It's probably
yeah, we're on. The Redskins. I'm sharing with friends, sorry. The Redskins hired the very first full-time Black female NFL coach. Way to go. Her name is Jennifer King. So I'm loving that. I am a football girl. I know it don't seem like it, but I was a tomboy. And I'm still a tomboy to this day. I can put on a little makeup, be a little cute, but I do prefer, I do prefer to have on shorts and just kind of chilling, hanging out, different things like that. I learned how to wear heels and stuff when I was 29 and do my makeup. So I am all for the tomboy. She was a athlete. She's a really major athlete. She played basketball in high school. It said basketball and sorry, y'all. I had this up and then you know how things happen. She played AAU while in high school. So and in college. So she's really major. Fancy.
I just want to say congratulations. Y'all know I'm not really big on sports. I always look at like the other stories, like surrounding the players, and then in this instance, a coach. I think this is really great though. Long overdue, and I just want to say congrats. I maybe just knowing this now, I might actually try to check out a game or something just to kind of see. I would love to also know just how how she came about securing that position. I think that's really interesting.
You gonna tell us?
No, I said I would love to learn. I have to look into it.
It says that Jennifer King, this is WFMY News 2, says Jennifer King grew up in Reddsville. She played softball and basketball for her high school, but in her backyard, she was playing football. Yeah, her new coaching job gig was right next door to where the Carolina Panthers play. So her love for football drew her to the practice field. So that's how she learned about Ron Rivera, the head coach of the Redskins, the new one. So I guess they got a relationship and he seen that she loved it. So I'm sure it was more to that. Sorry we didn't have much. We just wanted to say congratulations to her. And as y'all know, as y'all see, anytime we have a sports story, who brings the sports stories to
okay.
Congregation. I'm just messing with you. I feel like we're discombobulated right now. I don't know.
I still ain't shared the post yet. So yeah, I agree about the discombobulated. Then I had a piece of hair, like a dread just sticking straight up. I had to figure out which side it was on. So yeah. But we're gonna get through it though.
We have a guest, y'all. How many of y'all waiting for dating 2020 dating goals? I'm excited about that. Anywho, our next thing that we will talk about is Hair Love wins the Oscar for Best Animated Short Film. Per Wikipedia, Hair Love is a 2019 American animated short film written and directed by Matthew A. Cherry and co-produced with Karen Ruppert. I can't pronounce her last name. It follows the story of a man who must do his daughter's hair for the first time and features Issa Rae as a voice. The film was produced after a 2017 Kickstarter campaign and was also released as a children's book in May 2019 with illustrations by Veshti Harrison. So that is major. That is major. I'm gonna show y'all the. I don't know if you can see
Yeah,
it.
that's good. Right where you got it.
That's the picture of it. I am looking forward to checking it out. I love it because it's representation of natural hair. I know I have my hair in all different ways all the time, but as you guys know, both myself and Fancy are natural. Fancy has her locks, as you see, and I have a fro, and I love my fro. I generally don't like things on my hair, but here lately, I've been really busy, so I've been with my crochet now. But the fro will be back soon. I love the representation. It helps young girls really know how what. Oh, it helps young ladies really have appreciation for their hair. I believe. I remember when I was a pageant queen and I walked in a parade and I had my fro. One of the young girls said, "Mommy, she looks just like me. She have her hair just like mine," and that was very important to me. That young lady seeing that I had my crown on, but yet I was still just like them. So, congratulations to Hair Love.
Look, since you shared your little story about your hair and representation, which also congratulations to Hair Love. I think that is really cool. I want to actually check out the short film. I haven't had a chance to, but just like when I was listening to the interviews and everything, I just thought it was so amazing. Not to mention that the young man, what was his name? That we discussed the story. No, the young man from Texas, Andre, was it Andre something? Okay, well, Gabrielle Union took the teen who from Texas who is like going through the issue right now about the school cut his hair. They're saying it's too long. For him to graduate. So Gabrielle Union took him to the Oscars with her. I thought that that was such a really great gesture. But also, since Anya shared her hair story, I just want to share like it was actually just last week when I was in the store, and the girl that walked in before me like held open the door, and I thought she was actually older. But then as I was in the store, it was like a little girl that was like crying, like just really screaming, and I was like, oh my god, why these kids not in school? But then the dad ended up turning to me and he was like, because I was still being polite, of course, but the dad turned to me and he was like, yeah, my daughter says she really loves your hair. And I was like, it does really matter. I was like, you know what? I was just so caught up in my own self and rushing and all of that stuff that I didn't even notice, for one, that there was a teen girl that held the door open for me. And then I was getting annoyed by the baby, but actually they had been really checking me out all along. And it really just like, it just made me think like, hey, don't, always just try to treat people with respect, but also you never know who's watching you. So yeah, representation really does matter. And I love natural hair. So yeah.
I love my natural hair. I've been natural since December 2007. I've been different colors, different lengths. And I don't know. I don't like dark hair, y'all, but I've been rocking this dark hair lately. And his name was DeAndre Arnold.
Okay. DeAndre. Wait, what did I say?
Andre.
Okay. Well, I was close. I was just I'm just saying I knew it was someone with Andre in it.
So that's important. It's important for us to have representation. It's important for them to say to know that although we're natural, we are still professional. Because I also had I'm not gonna get into that story, but it was an issue with someone before because of my blonde fro. So I love it. Congratulations. Last but not least, on the docket, I don't know. I need to find out something to call this. Anywho, Darius Cooks closes all three of his restaurants Monday. He stated it Monday, and he said that Saturday will be the last. Sunday was the last time that his restaurants were open. Darius has done many lives since yesterday, and today he also have a post up that's 20 minutes. Basically, he's citing depression, and he said that, and I've been very vocal. Fancy's been very vocal about mental illness. I suffer with depression. I've told you guys that. Anxiety also. Fancy has told you guys her story with depression also. And with depression, you have to know your triggers. You must know your triggers. You must know what's keeping you in that mindset. So Darius said he had an episode 2 weeks ago, and it caused him to go see a therapist. And after that, he realized that the restaurant business was a trigger. And each business has its own entity. So Greens and Gravy was its own entity. Crab, it's Crab something. I can't think of it.
Oh, I did see the name, but I apologize. I don't remember it either.
Crab Station. Crab something. Anyway, the one that's in Atlanta and the one that's in Chicago, all of them was their own entities. And the lawsuit against him in the state of Georgia has come up about above 720, his business above 720, where he helped to help people with their credit scores. And he has stated that that lawsuit has nothing to do with him closing his restaurants. I believe that he's talking too much. That's just how I feel. I feel like he don't have to. He's done. I'm telling y'all, he has done lives. Like so many lives since yesterday. And I just feel like you addressed it once. You don't have to keep addressing it. And today on his 20-minute video post on his page, he talked about it. He talked about it again. And he showed different things. Okay, this is his own entity. And he said something really major for entrepreneurs, which was if you have everything as his own entity, when one thing falls, it don't have a domino effect with your other businesses. And that's something that I always tell people about bank accounts, because I have 1, 2, 3. I have like 4 different bank accounts, because if one thing is wrong with one bank, it won't affect my other bank. So that's a good rule of thumb for entrepreneurs. Whenever you have different businesses, have them separately. That way, it doesn't affect it, and you can still do business. So, Fancy.
Well, I only knew of Darius and his businesses, or his brands, from others. I did read the article. It did have me form an opinion. However, whenever mental health is involved, I really don't like to just too much comment on that sort of thing, because you never really know. I will also say though, when you're saying it about the sharing of the lives, the different lives, I think it's kind of like a matter of, how you really want to share your side of the story. But oftentimes that can be more damaging, especially, from a PR perspective. As someone, another close friend of mine is also a big Darius follower. And she was saying that he was maybe flashing money or a deposit slip or something not long ago.
Oh,
not in the past few days, maybe I don't know if she said a few weeks ago or something. It might have even been last week, but I don't know. However, one thing that she pointed out, and I can't really say for myself whether, this is, if this is really his character, but she mentioned flamboyancy. So, I think by now, it seems like everything I keep on saying all this year, I keep getting a message of being silent. So, yeah, I think my little message for the year is on point, but I just hope that everything, works out, because as a business owner, it's really hard, because we oftentimes identify ourselves through our business, even though we shouldn't. It does still kind of tend to happen. So when you lose that whole thing that, you've been basically putting all your time and energy into, and I don't mean to say lose, but when you even have to let it go, or when it comes to an end, then you have to find something else if you don't have anything else. And from one of the posts that I did see, I know he did talk about different ways maybe to escape, the stress of it all or whatever the mental health issues may have been. So I just wish him all the best. And, with any business owner, I always hate to see them like, things come to an end. So I just prayers up for him, I guess.
Definitely prayers up to him. I don't remember saying that, but he's not humble. I mean, he was like, I was having a 7-figure business before I started the restaurants. And and he put the check up that he paid to Georgia Honey. And it was just, I mean, I get that part. And like you said, maybe it was just him trying to share his side of the story because he is very flamboyant. And he wanted to make sure that everybody knew what was going on. So.
Can we shout out, look, we have to shout out Sharona right quick. I've been holding this because I be doing the, going through the comments and then your head might be down. So, but hey, Sharona, I just wanted to, she's one of like a regular viewer. So we got to recognize those.
Hey, Sharona, she gonna kill me because my hair up. She been fussing at me. Don't put that hair up. Don't put that hair up.
Oh, that's how you can for here.
Yes, honey. Mm-hmm. So Fancy is our guest.
Our guest has not quite yet arrived, but in the meantime, though, I can tell you all that we are still promoting our collaboration with Women's Empowerment Week 2020. And if you didn't get our newsletter today, I did share what the Swagger Magazine's themed event will be. So we're really excited about that. And actually, there she is. There's Shay. So I'm going to go ahead on and bring her into the queue. It's counting down.
Hey, Shay.
Hey, beauties. How are you?
Good, girl. You be with this flower, honey. I told Fan, I say, baby.
I do not play about this flower.
I know, but it is so cute. It is so
cute. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Welcome to Theories and Thoughts.
Thank you for inviting me. It's an honor. I'm so excited.
I'm Arnya and that's Fancy. I don't know.
Yeah. I realized we didn't do your intro, but I realized we can kind of stumble with those. So how about you tell the audience who you are? I think you all can always do that a lot better.
Well, hi, I am the one and only Shay Your Love Diva, a certified love transformer. And I help professional women who are stuck in chronic singleitis and too many lonely nights and dating in pain to become irresistible man magnets so they can finally check out of Heartbreak Hotel and break up with their BS Ben and Jerry. So the bottom line is, if you know of anybody who's looking for love in all the wrong places and who needs their picker fix, then send them to me where I teach them how to date in a lane where there is no competition.
Okay.
But look, I'm already like intrigued. I gotta ask this right quick before we go into things. Y'all know what your question may have been, but where there is no competition, what do you mean by that?
Because when you're in your own lane and you have risen to another standard of knowing who and whose you are, when you know the value you're bringing to the table, when you have healed your stuff, and so you don't have things blocking you from being able to attract love, then you automatically become a magnet for drawing in that person who was created for you, who's been looking for you, and they've been waiting for you to get it together. So there's no competition because they're just waiting for your beautiful self.
Okay. I think I was kind of thinking it's a whole other light out there, but I love that as well. I don't know in my mind.
But I do teach you the art of dating so that you do have an advantage, because at the end of the day, when I'm finished working with my clients, then they really don't have any competition. They're definitely a step above the rest when it comes to dating. So
come on now, come on, right? Okay, I like that.
Well, how long have you been doing this?
That's why
I have been doing this for well over a decade, almost 2 decades. I started this journey when I was in college at Florida State. I was always the go-to person when it came to relationships. I never really knew why. It's like Plymouth, we didn't land on Plymouth Rock. Plymouth Rock landed on us. So with this situation, it landed on me. I found myself constantly attracting dysfunctional relationships with guys who did not see my value. And then when I ended up homeless with a 5-week-old whose father had just walked out of our lives, I made a promise to her that first, she was going to see mommy be loved so that she knows what it looks like. 2, that I was going to break a pattern in our family of women being in abusive, dysfunctional relationships. And 3, I promised to buy her a house with a backyard. And I was able to accomplish all those goals. So what I did was I launched a dating experiment of going on over 100 dates in 3 months. And during that time period, I interviewed thousands of men, women, and couples. And I read hundreds of relationship and human behavior books so that I can figure out, like, what is the secret? What is the secret of attraction? Why do we do the things that we do? What are the things that women do instinctively that turn men off? And how can we have the power to captivate a man, any man we choose, and be able to capture his heart within less than 30 days? And so I documented that in my YouTube videos. And it's funny because I did the YouTube videos, it's kind of morbid, but I did it just in case something happened to me, knock on wood. And I wanted my daughter to have something that taught her like all the things I learned on this journey. And then I had people emailing me. I had people sending me, messages and asking for help, women who had just been abused and saying that they're afraid for their life. What should they do? Women talking about how they loved a man so bad, but how he continues to cheat on her and what should she do? And so the more and more I got these emails, I started answering them. I started helping people. And then I started creating a system for replicating what I was able to accomplish with being able to manifest love and capture a man's heart. And then here I am today.
Wow. So, Anya, I'm trying to give you an opportunity.
I know you're not. No, you're not.
I got so many questions.
She came back at me for last week, because last week I was like,
yeah, she slow. But here you are, because I do have questions though. I do.
Okay. I have questions too, honey.
Bring it on. Bring it on.
For a while now. So my thing is, are you married?
Very much so.
And how long?
I have been married. All right. So with my husband, what had happened was he was my childhood sweetheart in high school. We met when we were 14 years old. And here's the thing about dysfunction. The thing about dysfunction, when subconsciously you don't believe that you deserve any better, when subconsciously you're attracting the dysfunctional relationships because that's what you witnessed growing up. You witnessed daddy abusing mommy, or you witnessed mommy constantly attracting guys who couldn't commit, then you go out there and you replicate it. So even though I had a great guy, because we stayed in contact throughout college, and it's funny because he was in the Air Force and I was in college, and then he came to get me because he wanted to marry me, but I was with somebody else who was abusive and I couldn't see him, And so we lost contact for several years, and then we reconnected in 2011, and we were friends, but I still couldn't see him, until I did my own healing. I couldn't see him. And then one day God said to me, as clear as you and I are talking, God was like, "That's your husband." And I'm like, God, I know you're never wrong, but this time you're absolutely wrong. So we're going to have a conversation. So after having that argument with God, I pulled over on the side of the road and I sent him a text because, he's always been my best friend. And I said, "You are my best friend and I love you. And I never want anything to happen to our friendship." And I pressed send. And as soon as I pressed send, I got a text back from him saying the same exact thing. And we've been together ever since.
Wow.
Oh my goodness. I was asking that because so many times I know women that I talk to that are married, that have been together, and I'm like, you don't understand dating, because I'm 38. And right. I'm like, you don't understand dating, no kids. At the age of 38, you don't get it. Do people ask you that? Are they like, you don't understand my story. You don't get what I'm going through right now.
So here's the thing, it's funny because I've been blessed to go through what I did, because when I started this journey, I was a single mother, right? I was a single mother of 2 kids. And when back in the day, I was helping people even back then before I got married. And then people would be like, "Well, you're not married, so you can't tell me anything." And then now that I'm married, they're like, "Well, you're married. You don't understand what I'm going through." But the bottom line is, so it's like a double-edged sword. But the bottom line is that I've been in the valley. I've been through what a lot of women who are struggling with manifesting love have been through, are going through, because I remember the lonely nights. I remember that aching in my heart of wanting somebody to love me, of feeling like, am I good enough? Like, am I worthy to really be loved? Are there any good men that are left on this planet that want to have a relationship? So I went through that. And because I went through so many different things, then I can relate and I can be more effective at helping people to manifest love.
So she's knowledgeable.
Right. Go ahead, Fancy.
So I can relate.
So the dating goals, I guess going into that.
Yes.
Would you say the goals are the same as standards, or can you break that down a little bit? Just a little.
All right. So standards are when you have a standard of what you expect and how you expect to be treated. That's more standards. Goals are setting goals of what you want to accomplish. For instance, if you want to be able to manifest love, there are certain steps that you have to be able to take. So when we say goals, there are 5 different steps or goals that you need to establish in order to get to the end point of manifesting not just a man or not just a relationship, but a good man and a healthy relationship. So I've been able to kind of create like a game plan or a blueprint for helping people to be able to accomplish that goal. So do you want me to go through each one of them? Is that what you're asking? Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. Yes. So step 1, get you together. And people are always saying that. They're always like, well, you need to get it together, and you need to heal, and you need to do this and all these things you need to do to that insinuate something's wrong with you. But the fact of the matter is there's absolutely nothing wrong with you. You are not broken whatsoever. It's just that because events have happened in your life, it created belief systems. It created thought processes that have formed our subconscious mind. And we make 90% of our decisions and choices based on our subconscious mind. So if you don't heal that, if you don't rewrite those programs and messages, then you keep being drawn back to the same guy with a different face and the same dramatic love experiences. So it's important that you heal first. Second, you must become what you want to attract, working on becoming your authentic self. If you show up in the dating world as this hurt woman who ex cheated on her and you haven't been able to get past that and you think all men cheat, then you're going to attract somebody else who's going to prove you right. So making sure that who you are is whole and ready to manifest what you're asking for. And then the third step, being able to utilize the laws of attraction and align with your soulmate. How to be able to expect and demand that your soulmate manifests into your life. And there's certain steps that you got to take in order to do that. And then we have dating, learning how to date, learning what is the art of dating. Did you know that there is a method to seduction, that there's a method to building rapport with somebody and getting a guy to crave you and want to ask you out for a second, third, fourth, and fifth date, and even a commitment? In my research, when I was interviewing guys, they knew immediately when a woman was the one, or they knew at least within the first month if she was the one. So if somebody's dragging you out for years and they still haven't proposed, then they are wasting your time as your ovaries go hard and boiled, because they are waiting for that one that sets their heart on fire. But you can learn how to be that one, and you hold the power. Because at the end of the day, ladies, they chase, you choose. So you are the one that have the power to choose who you want to be that one. And with that power comes responsibility. Because if you're choosing the wrong one, then that leads to my 5th goal, relationship. You can't make a cake out of crap. You just can't. You have to have the proper ingredients. So I don't care how good your intentions are. If you have a guy who doesn't have good intentions and he doesn't have the right stuff that qualifies him to be a good husband, then I'm sorry, he's not going to make a good quality husband. It's not going to be a good quality relationship. And you're going to find yourself right back at square one.
Wow.
See, here's the thing. I tell people that. So I have girlfriends that are like, how do you get guys? How every time you meet somebody, they take you out to dinner? And I'm like, because, they can't come to my house. And they're like, how do I get them to do that? And then I'm like, well, you when they want to see you, well, where are we gonna go? You know, how am I gonna see you? And they're like, but that's hard, and I don't want, I don't want to turn them off. And I'm like, well, that's not the person for you if you feel like you're gonna be turned off. Then when I talk to guys, I'm like, okay, well, this isn't gonna work. And they're like, why do you feel that way? I'm like, because if you're really interested, or if you just wanting to play around, or if you're really looking. And people tell me they look at me like I'm nuts. And I say, a man knows when he's met who he's ready and willing to be that man for. So thank you for that, because
there's so much. Oh my God, you have it. And there's so much to unpack in what you said. And this can be a great learning moment for a lot of people. First thing is you just described standards. Okay. You set a standard. Like, if you're going to go out with me, and if you're going to have the opportunity to be in my presence, then you need to take me out to dinner. That's the first thing that you set up. The second thing is that you're not dating to be chosen. You're dating, doing the choosing. Like, ladies, you're the one with the power. And if you step back and you're like, I'm not going on this date to try to prove why I'm worthy. I'm going on a date to see if he's worthy of me, to see if I like him, to see if he's a nice person, to see how he treats the waiter, to see if we have chemistry, if we can have good conversation. I'm the one in the driver's seat. And it doesn't matter if he likes me or not, because you're just looking for that one. That's it. Your responsibility is to become and expect. Once you become and expect, then trust and believe he's going to come to you. He's going to see you. And when the right one shows up, there's nothing you can do to keep him from getting you. Nothing. He will move heaven and hell. So if he's not moving heaven and hell, and then later on, I'll describe the biochemical process in that, because I don't just talk about relationships. A lot of coaches out here, they just give advice based on what they believe. But I talk about the science of attraction, combining it with the law of attraction and the art of dating that makes sense on why you move the way you move in the dating world. So at the end of the day, if a guy's not pursuing you, if he's disappearing on you, if he's not calling you, if he's not making you clear that you're the one that he wants to be with consistently over a period of time, then boo, that he hasn't had the biochemical process occur within him, and you're not his one. And that's perfectly fine, because the name of the game is, as soon as you recognize that, to keep it moving. As soon as you recognize, just like what you said, as soon as you recognize that you're not his one, you have him kick rocks and you move on to the next one. And that is why you should be dating at least 3 guys at a time.
Bam.
Okay, now I have a question about that, because I just don't understand how you kind of can juggle that, I guess you say, because I've heard that before. I have tried it, and it's just like, to me, it's just kind of, I don't know, maybe I'm that person that often, like, I don't know, I just kind of skip steps or something. Actually, my therapist kind of did tell me that. Now, as I'm like, okay, yeah, you are that person. But I'm curious, like, how do you do that? Not give all of your attention to just one person in that sense.
Well, okay. So here's the thing. If you understand the phases of a relationship, then you will appreciate the art of going on dates with 3 people. And when you say dating is just an interviewing process for manifesting love. That's it. You shouldn't be having sex or jumping in the bed with or catching strong feelings for with people that you're just dating. So here are the phases. And if we understand what's happening biochemically, then it makes sense why we should move in a certain way. So when you meet somebody, the first phase is attraction. And in the attraction phase, he's basically saying, I am willing to have sex with you. You are saying, I would let you have sex with me. Maybe not right now, but I would. Like, you're attractive enough to me for me to do that. That's a natural mating ritual. The second phase is the courting phase. He's doing the work to have sex with you. And so here's the thing, what they've been able to determine. They've been able to show that when a man meets a woman at first who he wants to have sex with, the part of his brain that sees an object lights up. So you're not even a person to him at that point. Yeah. You are an object that he wants to have sex with. So if you have sex with him in the beginning during the attraction phase or in the courting phase, then you're going to get discarded like the thing that he's already projecting subconsciously that you are. So as he's pursuing you during the courting phase, he's starting to get to know you. He's starting to develop a friendship with you. he's starting to like you. You're meeting his 6 needs, or at least 4 of the 6 needs. When you meet at least 4 of the 6 needs that I teach my clients, you have an addiction. That means there's a strong attraction and he needs you in his life because you're fulfilling a need for him. So when he goes through the 3rd phase, which is the pull away phase, which all men go through, when you go through that phase where it seems like it's hot and heavy and there's a lot of chemistry and it seems like everything's going wonderful, and then all of a sudden he just ghosts you and he just stops calling or he stops texting. Well, a lot of women mess this up because they have to text him, or they want to send a long email, a dissertation on why you the good woman and you the one and you missing out on the opportunity. But the reason why he's pulling away is because men have to. You see, in the 2 hemispheres of our brain, for a woman, it's connected. There's connective tissue that connects it so that we can do multiple things at the same time. But for a man, they don't have that. So in order to determine how they feel about you, they have to pull away, evaluate, do they miss you? Evaluate, what are they thinking about you? And then when they spend time away from you, they're like, oh God, like I missed her. Like I really like her. That's when they determine. And then if you notice, when they pull away and come back, they're bigger, better, stronger than before. And then that's when you enter the 4th phase, commitment, because he doesn't want to lose you. Now, from the attraction phase, when he sees you in courting, leading up to the commitment phase, his testosterone and serotonin are decreasing, which means that he's becoming more nurturing, like a woman, that he is forming a bond with you. When you have low serotonin, those are people that have OCD that constantly think about you. So he's thinking about you. He's becoming obsessed with you in a way, in a healthy way. And so he wants to be with you. Now, if he isn't trying to be with you, then that means that biochemical process has not happened and he's just not feeling you enough if he's not trying to commit to you. After the commitment phase, engagement, and then marriage. If something isn't growing, it's dying. If he's not proposing, then that biochemical process isn't happening. And trust me, a man knows. And I don't care what he says about not wanting to be committed and not wanting to mess things up and how he's afraid of commitment and all this crap, because trust and believe, when he meets that one that sets his heart off, all that goes out the window. And we know those kind of men that break up and then 3 months later they're married to somebody else because they know.
What would you say is the number one reason women are single?
Oh my goodness. The number one reason why women are single is because they don't know who they are. They don't know the value that they're bringing to the table. They don't know that they're a diva, divine, intelligent, vivacious, and alluring. They have no clue. And so because they feel less than about themselves, they attract those experiences, or they stay single to avoid the hurt, because staying single keeps them safe. It's kind of like a boat. If it stays in the harbor, it doesn't have to worry about getting shipwrecked if it's out at sea. But a boat wasn't created to stay at harbor. It was created to go out into the ocean. And it's just like with us. We were created to love and to be loved. But the second point is that if you don't know how to maneuver in the dating world, how to select the right person, then it can be a daunting experience. It can be something that brings up a whole lot of fear. And for a lot of women, especially professional women who don't like failing, they don't like being wrong, and they feel that if a relationship doesn't work, then here's a thing that hits at their self-esteem because they were wrong at something. They don't want to take that chance. So it's easier for them to be single, supposedly, than to put themselves out there. The easiest thing to do is to first commit to yourself that you deserve love and that you are worthy. 2, admit what you don't know. Like if you don't know how to find love, which we weren't born with that, and a lot of our mothers didn't teach us that. And so if you don't know, then you figure it out. You get that information. You get somebody who can help hold your hand and guide you through the process. You don't bump around adding more bruises to the wound. You heal them, learn, and move on. Does that answer the question?
It sure did. You're just confirming everything I be trying to tell people. That's all. You know, I thought you was going to say people are afraid to be by themselves, but you said they're afraid to fail. So I get that too.
Right. And people are, because you asked the question, like, what is the number one reason why people are single? Well, at the end of the day, it's the wall. Because if you want love, it's not that you're not worthy. It's not that anything's wrong with you. It's just that you have things that are blocking you from being able to manifest love. And the same wall that you use to protect yourself from love or from hurt is the same wall that keeps out love. So it's important that you can identify why the wall's there. What is it protecting you from? Or what is your perception that is protecting you from? And work on knocking those walls down so that you're attracting the right guy. Because let me tell you something. I have been through so much. I married a married man. I have been in multiple abusive relationships. I have been cheated on. I have been ghosted. I have been mistreated in every way you can imagine. But the love that I have with my husband is worth all of that all day, every day. Once I was able to heal me and get whole, then I was able to attract a whole man. Once I got to the point where I was like, God, have your will. Have your will. And then follow the steps that my coach took me through. And once I followed my own advice as well, then I was able to manifest him. And that's a possibility for every woman. You look like you're just like blown away.
I'm kind of like, I always kind of, my mind goes everywhere. So with a lot of things that you said, I was like, okay, I don't know. I kind of have butts. Look, we might have to like do email Q&A or something after the fact. Do you have a book? Also, I wanted to know that I didn't see anything about one, but I was just curious.
I do have a book. It just happens to be sitting here. So I wrote this book called The Science of Attracting Love. Mm-hmm. And in the book, A through Z, I basically walk you through how to manifest love using neuro-linguistic programming, speaking to your subconscious mind, not just telling you all the things that you already know, but showing you the how to get there. Also using my relationship experiences as well as my clients' experiences in order to teach women how to become whole, manifest love, and co-create a healthy relationship. But I'm really curious, what was in your mind? Like, what are your questions?
Well, for one, when you mentioned that about like why, women are single or so many women are single. And I was just like, of course, as you're answering, I'm like, okay, well, is that me? And I'm like, no, none of that stuff really felt like me. A lot of things didn't quite feel like me, but I do feel like I know who I am. I'm very confident, about like, as far as my value and my worth and so on. But right. In some ways, and I think though, you mentioned the fact, like, as far as being whole, and I was just kind of thinking to myself, well, maybe I know that there are things still within my life that I need to work on, but for the most part, like all the mental and kind of like the emotional things I kind of have, but I just didn't feel like, as far as when you said it was the fear, because I was like, well, it's not so much the fear of meeting people and, and having a bad experience, but just like, it's more so like, are there quality people out there? But I think that when you said that about the being whole, then that made me think like the reason why I'm not attracting anyone is because, I'm not attracting anyone that I find to be of my standards or worthy, is because there's still more work that I need to be doing. I think that's kind of like, even as I'm talking to you, it's kind of like playing out.
I love it. Like,
so I'm like, okay,
I love it.
Because I know that it's not. Yeah, because I know it's not like a matter of being afraid. I don't think I'm afraid. I don't think, I don't know. But yeah, I think I learned a lot tonight.
And here's the thing. Like I said earlier, there's nothing wrong with you. It's not like you're sitting here like, oh my God, I'm in fear or afraid. But just think about it. Like, think back to your childhood. What did relationships represent to you? What was your first heartbreak like? How much did it really impact you? Like, we'll be surprised how much those things are stuck in our subconscious mind, because a lot of us aren't even aware of the thoughts. We don't even stop to pay attention. Like, how do I really feel about men? Do I even feel like there are good men? Do I feel like there's only a little bit of good men and that the majority of men are bad guys? Or what am I lying to myself about? Like I was talking to, a young lady the other day, and she was talking about, why am I always attracting liars? I said, well, what are you lying to yourself about? Because we attract who we are. And so it doesn't mean that you're a liar. It could mean that you lie about what kind of woman you are, that you're lying about the values that you're bringing to the table, that you don't recognize all of that you are. And so I honestly believe that life always reflects back to us what's going on internally. And that's a blessing, because that information we can use as feedback to make the changes to allow us to manifest what we want. So I loved watching you process that. That was awesome.
Okay, I'm glad you're not offended. I'll just be like, yeah. I just, in my mind, it was just, it didn't sit well with me. So I'm so glad that we got to clear it up. And then also with me processing it at the same time, that was a really cool experience. I don't think we've ever had that before. But I think, Anya, you were trying to add something too. Say something.
No problem is.
It's so funny because, just speaking on that really quick, it happens all the time. There's never a client that I'm sitting down with and I say, the reason why you're still single is because there's something within you that's keeping you single. 100% of the time, no, it's not. It's not me. Like, I'm ready. I'm not scared. I'm this and that. But then when we go further, and then I'm like, okay, well, tell me about this. Tell me about that. And then 10 minutes later, they're crying and they're like, God, I didn't even know that was there. Like, I didn't even realize, which is why I incorporate positive mind meditations in my practice so that we can work on the subconscious mind, because that's where the majority of the stuff blocking love is.
Oh, I definitely believe that.
Yeah.
I know what my issue is, though. I'm more of the professional woman who has the wall up, that's kind of scared to get hurt, but kind of open it up for certain things. And Fancy always tell me, you need a better quality man. I think one guy was like, I should be dating somebody like him. And she's like, I'm happy that you realize that. And I'm like, yeah, but then it's like,
it's that dichotomy, right? It's like, on the one hand, you want love because that's our human need. Every single person needs love. But then on the other hand, you're like, but dang, I don't want to get hurt. And
I don't feel like dealing with his BS or what's gonna be, what is it gonna be that he's gonna come with and stuff like that. But I am whole. I know who I am. I'm not afraid of being by myself. I'm one that date often. One of my girlfriends, Ben, told me that she was like, date often. So I do that. I don't do any more dating sites. I had my run with Facebook here recently, and I was like, I'm just doing this just to play around. And people out there know, sir. So I mean, I think it's just that wall of being hurt at this time. I'm like, I'm 38, and then I meet guys that don't want kids, and I want somebody who wants the door open.
So let me ask you this, right? So if you were going fishing, what do you want to catch? If you were going fishing, right, you want to catch fish. Now, we all know fish eat worms and things like that. But what if we put a shoe at the end of the hook and try to catch fish? Are we going to catch fish? No, we're not going to catch anything. And so it's the same thing when it comes to dating. Like, what are you putting on your hook? Because if you put fear on your hook, I promise you're going to attract fear. If you're putting your perceptions of, I don't feel like dealing with the drama, then that's what you're going to attract. But I always tell people, like, the most important part you can do when it comes to dating before you enter the dating world, like, you spend the most time on you. You spend the most time on just uncovering, like, lifting up the sheet to say, hey, what? I didn't even know that was there. Let me heal that. Let me work on that. And then let me show up my whole awesome, beautiful, vivacious self. Because then when you do that, you don't have to do all this other stuff. You'll see the men will start coming to you, and the quality of men will start coming to you. If a jerk shows up in your life, be thankful, because he's giving feedback, and you can say to yourself, like, God, what am I sending out there? And
I really do that.
Speak it. Yeah.
What you say, Fancy?
I really do be doing that. Like when just meeting people and dating and whatever, I'll look at them, and then, when I see things that I don't like, and I'll oftentimes ask myself, like, hey, why was this person brought into my life? And I look at that. I'm really big on the whole reflection aspect of things. So I'll try to see, like, what is it within me that might be attracting that type of person. So I totally get that. I agree with that.
I have one other question. Sorry. And I know we have to be wrapping up soon. Okay, so people tell me, so I meet guys. And this is what actually happens. It's like, they're like, you are so amazing. You're so awesome. Because I do a plethora of things. And they're like, you're so this, that, and the other. And then when they get to know me and they see it and I'm in motion, that it's not just talk, it's really I'm doing these things. It's like, oh, I got to work on myself. And I'm like, but you knew I was this woman before. I don't.
So can I give you, so do I have your permission? Because part of what I do is I'm a seer too, so I can see things, and I can always see in women what is causing them to have certain patterns of experiences. So do I have your permission to tell you?
Yeah, my permission.
So here's the thing. Like, you really are a dynamic woman, but you're also a giver. So when you fall hard and you give everything. Like, you're the type that would be cooking. You're the type that would be cleaning. You would ride for your man. You would show up at his events. You would be there 110%. Am I right or wrong?
You're right.
And then he's like, whoa, like I'm overwhelmed because I don't even think I deserve her because he's not there. He's not, you're further. Because when you fall. You're selective now. You done broke some heart yourself. But right.
Definitely.
Yeah. But you're not attracted to those guys. You're attracted to the ones that require a bit of a chase. You're a make it happen kind of woman. And you also have that strong type A personality. So with that strong type A personality, that's very sexy too, because you have that feminine energy that's going on. However, you're driving too much. And because you're driving too much, that whole biochemical process in a man that I told you about doesn't have a chance to mature and blossom. And because he doesn't have a chance to mature and blossom, he in his mind knows you're a good woman, but he just can't get there. So I would encourage you to sit back as the queen that you are and let him do the work without feeling like you have to return the favor. Just understanding that you're lucky to be in my presence. I am going to send you positive energy. I'm going to be fun when you're around me, but you're going to have to show up at the table. And until you commit to me, then I'm going to keep exploring my options. I'm not going to fall for anybody who isn't 3 times more interested in me. And I'm going to work on me so that I start to fall for the nice guys, because you tend to fall for the other kind of guys. Right? And so
Fancy, don't you be over there.
I know I'm not telling you all, right? I'm gonna keep some other stuff that I see to myself. But like being able to get to the point, because I always tell women, marry a nice guy and get yourself to the point where you are attracted to the nice guy, because there's a lot of nice guys that can still turn us on, but it's something in us that just 2 centimeters. You're 2 centimeters literally from getting married. I can tell by looking at a woman if she radiates wife energy or not. Somebody like you, it wouldn't take me much work to do to tweak you so that you can be able to align with manifest and not just a husband, but a great husband. But there's some women, they don't have, their wife energy is way off. They're way off. You're not far. Just pull back a little bit and sit in your feminine energy and let him do the work. Men love that. I'm telling you, they like football, basketball, sports. The possibility of losing, they like that for a reason. They don't want to have it too easy. They want to have to work for what they're going to have, and then they can put you up as the queen and prize that you are.
Thank you.
Can I ask the question for one of our viewers? They wanted to know, what if you run out of patience and don't want to be bothered with the process of getting to know someone? I know who I am and whom I belong. I just don't have the patience.
The patience for what?
The process.
Getting to know someone, they said. Yeah.
So wait, all right. So I'm just trying to clarify. So basically, are you saying that, oh, I see the chat over here. How nice. So basically, is she saying that she wants to get from point A, the attraction phase, to come on, get it? Do you like me or do you not like me? I don't have time for you to be trying to figure it out.
That's what it seems like.
Right. So here's the thing.
Sorry.
That impatience is what leads to you getting hurt. And that's also the reason why you should be interviewing more than one option, because dating should be a process of fun that not only puts yourself out there, but also allows you to get to know yourself, because you realize what you like and what you don't like when you're dating. There's some things that you supposedly had on your list at first that when you date somebody, you're like, oh no, let me scratch this off.
Mhm.
I don't want that. Like, he's crazy and I couldn't spend the rest of my life with that. But if you can give yourself the opportunity to become friends with this person, I'm telling you, it will deepen your experience of love with that person once it matures into a relationship. So it's worth it. It's worth you giving yourself time in the relationship, time to mature.
Okay.
I'm just loving this chat over here.
Oh.
I'm not seeing the comments. Oh wow, what
And
is
very
coming? I
little.
did not see them.
I didn't see a lot. Sometimes we see them after the fact.
Sorry, look,
Right.
I wanted to be sharing them, and I saw something there, but they weren't popping up at first. Okay, so I'm getting those on the screen. But did you have anything else you wanted to leave us with, Shay, before you close out?
Oh, thank you. So I encourage everybody who's listening to me to go to either your Android or to the Apple app and download my Cup of Love app so that you can stay in the vibration of manifesting love. Every day it pushes out an affirmation, keep reminding you and keeping you in the vibration of manifesting love. As well, it has a bunch of information on how to be able to attract and manifest your soulmate. That's the first thing. Second, I'm having a free webinar on the 19th at 7:30. Go on my website at yourlovediva.com. And that's like a short website. My main website also link is there. But go and register because we only have 35 seats. And so secure your spot. And then on March the 4th is going to be my next Manifest Love Inner Circle class. And this class is powerful. This class guarantees that you will be empowered to be able to manifest love within 60 days. You're going to be given all the tools and information that you need in order to align with your soulmate, heal your stuff, become who you need to become so that you can manifest that relationship that you always dreamed to have. So,
what was the app again? My Cup of Love?
It's Cup of Love.
Oh, Cup of Love. I was trying to get it so I can show. I was trying to get it so I can have it and to show.
That's right. Yes, have it pop up. And call me, honey. We're gonna have you married by next year. That's it. Cup of Love.
Don't say that because I just told somebody I'm gonna have a baby and be married by next year. I'm serious, Shay. I'm calling you.
What do you think I'm saying that for? I see it. Oh, you're gonna be married soon. Y'all mark this day down. She's gonna be married soon. We're gonna work on you. You's kind of quiet, but we gonna get you together too, honey.
Yeah, I got my own stuff to get together before I even be worried about getting married again. Yeah. So I'll be in touch though in time because I really want the book because I love the chemical, like you mentioned some scientific facts. I like that. You know, that was just a lot more in depth. Oftentimes we talk about these affirmations and we talk about so and so, but like let me really, like get to the real meat and potatoes of it. And I think that that's so important. So I really enjoyed the conversation.
I did too. And I'm like, we need to have you back because I feel like we didn't get to everything. I really enjoyed it. Like really, really, really. So thank you so much.
Thank you guys so much. And don't forget to follow my Instagram and Facebook at Shay Your Love Diva.
And I have the site up as well as the Instagram, so you all can definitely follow her. But thank you again, Shay, for joining us.
Look, I didn't log in. I wanted to just show
you logged in and everything. She's already in the app.
Yeah, account, honey. I'm trying to get married, have my husband, have these babies real quick.
Yes, honey. We touching and agreeing on that one. All right, beauties. It's so nice to meet you. Thank you so much for inviting me. It has been a pleasure and honor.
Thank you.
And I took down notes on what you said, and we'll also post them also. So thank you.
Thank you so much. In the chat, Army. Bye.
Bye. That was good. And how she read me and how I already knew that stuff. So I guess it's time to walk in that manner.
Well, I don't know. I guess, my life is complicated. So I wanted to ask more in a way, but then at the same time, I don't know. I'm actually, this conversation has me like more so just kind of trying to figure out like, okay, what something I feel like else is missing. I don't know. But let's not forget that tonight's show is sponsored by our theories and thoughts, never thirsty tumblers, because that is the best way to be, ladies. And Anya, of course, is showing hers way better than mine, but I'm trying here.
Whatever.
But so this is up on the swaggers.net website. I wanted to show a little bit more of you all's comments because I thought they were really great. And yeah. As I'm trying to pull them up. But in the meantime, Anya, do you have some announcements that you could be running through while I'm just sharing the comments? Is that okay?
I wanted to talk about the Where Wild Women Wander women event for Women Week. What?
Yes. Okay, so we are, of course, in Women's Empowerment Week, Louisiana, 2020. We're really excited because this year we are hosting an event. And before I begin, let me tell you all right quick that we are also offering, we're going to be doing a special edition travel book. So we're off this card space, which is 2x3, and then we're also doing features. So like, say if you're hosting an event that same week, I think it is going to be March 20th through March the 29th. If you're hosting an event that week that is a Women's Week, then, you know, get with Sisters of Empowerment and you all can be listed under the umbrella and receive free promo. But then you could also, they have other packages. So this is the package that we're offering for those who are, you know, wanting to support the week or wanted to spotlight their brand. I think this is a really great opportunity. And I'm just so excited because not only are we going to be doing the travel books, but I'm going to be doing a branding workshop in Lafayette. I have not even mentioned it just yet because I'm still getting my details together. But I'm going to be doing that like in the middle of the week. But on that Friday, March the 27th, we are planning to host our Where Wild Women Wonder event. And this is an event that just like really came to me more so like as a vision. I know people oftentimes talk about visions, but y'all, this was really just something like the name came to me last weekend. I wasn't quite certain why. And then I Googled it. I didn't see anything, but I was just like, well, it might be something I might want to do in the future. But then as I was just driving, it actually hit me like, okay, this is the event that you're supposed to be doing, because we go to so many women's empowerment events or mental health events or even business events. You know, we go to all this stuff and then we end up on the subject of basically like women dealing with sexual trauma. Now, when I wanted to do this event, it was more so about sexual liberation, because that is something that I've just like really wanted to discuss more. But then I also realized that women who have endured sexual trauma, oftentimes, you know, they do hold back. They're suppressing their selves because, you know, there's still a lot to deal with. So I want to do this event. We're going to incorporate a therapist. We're going to have a sex coach. And I don't know what else we're going to have, but we're going to have some fun, because I'm like, we have been working. I'm like, everybody's talking about women's empowerment, and we're talking about business, and we're talking about faith, and we're talking about everything else. And I feel like, hey, as women, when do we get to actually, you know, talk about sex for one? So I'm excited.
Baby.
And I hope that, you know, that the Baton Rouge area is getting excited as well, because we are going to be seeking sponsors. I'm not really certain if we're going to do vendors just yet. As I said, this vision just came to me on Friday. So like, I have been trying to decide for a month what I was going to do, but now that I have it, like, I'm ready to work with it. And I've been reaching out to people. I'm not even going to tell y'all who else I reached out to, but I'm just really excited. Like, I don't really get excited about things like a genuine genuine excitement is the word, but this is really genuine, and I just think that this is going to be something that's, you know, new and awesome, and it's going to be a safe space, and I'm just looking forward to it. So look, that was not what I was supposed to be doing. I was supposed to be sharing the comments, but
I'm excited about about it, because sex is not a bad thing. And people tend to look at it as it's a bad thing. And when women talk about it, it's not in good taste. So I think that this will be an amazing event for women to just kind of get free. I'm not saying go out and have sex with a whole bunch of guys, and not even you can still wait for marriage if that's your thing. But we just want you to know that this is good. Nothing's wrong with it. That it's not a bad thing, because so much we hear that sex is being bad. So that's my thing. If you're interested in being a guest on Theories of Thoughts, please email me at Arnya, ARNYA, at swagher.net. Yes, I changed my email address.
I already have it in the crawler, ma'am. Y'all, I've been emailing everybody talking about this email address. So please use the correct email address.
Fancy been asked if I wanted to change my email. And I kept saying no, I'm gonna keep admin. And then one day I just messaged her and said, okay, I'm gonna change it now. So it's been a mess. Lives this week we have Jessica Canty. She will be talking taxes with Rashida McKnight, and she'll be talking credit. That's tomorrow, and she'll be talking credit with Asia L. Rivers of Talk Biz Credit on the 13th. So check them out on our IG page. If you don't know what that is, it's Swagger
Magazine. One word.
Magazine. We do have, as Fancy said, our travel book placements. So look out for that. And we have our Love My Brand. So this will be taking.
I'm sorry. The Love My Brand promo ended.
Oh, sorry.
I apologize. I didn't see it on the sheet, but yeah, we ended that on Sunday. So if you didn't buy, you just didn't buy. We are not doing auto sales this year. I just want to let y'all know.
Sorry.
I'm unapologetic about it because I'm just like, it's really taking a lot. But I actually just had a conversation with another business owner, and we were just saying, like when you're constantly doing sales, people expect the sale. But I need you all to start really embracing us like as the brand that we are, So hey, we're not doing all the sales this year. You didn't catch the sale, you just didn't catch the sale. My apologies.
Sorry. We are looking for brand ambassadors, journalists, and marketing. Please email me at arnya@swagher.net. You can catch us on Spotify. You can catch us on TuneIn, Google Play, and on YouTube. So be on the lookout for the replays. If you feel like this has helped you, don't forget to share. Sharing is caring. And they can possibly check our replay if they don't want to look at it as a video. They can listen to it on Spotify. So don't forget to go on Spotify and follow us on Spotify. Theories and thoughts. So that's all I got.
You know what? I just thought about first shout out the Candy Lady because I did receive my lipstick today. And also at 8:45 Central Time, I'm gonna be calling into the Hold Up Bruh show. So I think maybe if Jamil is watching, he can share that for me. But I'll be calling in this evening. So it's gonna be at 8:45, y'all. Just if you want to tune in, learn kind of like what I do with my work, because oftentimes be the most talkative on here. But that's everything that I have. So yeah. All right. Peace and blessings.
What?
Well, peace and blessings, y'all. What are you doing?
Saying bye.
Oh, bye. Oh, like you still talking it. I'm like, okay, what is she doing? All right, bye, y'all.